Hi everyone. Today I'm going to analyze some games from our 49th ICHS tournament. Which was played very nicely by all of the participants. So here I took first game that is played between Atharva and Avian. Atharva versus Avian. So Atharva is white here and Avian is black. So here Atharva started his game with D4. So it is queen's pawn opening and F6. Very nice reply. It is called Indian defense. After that, Atharva played NC3. So NC3 is not that much popular in chess. So you can play NC3. So it is slightly dubious here, slight dubious. If you want to play with NC3 here with Indian defense, so you have to be too much careful and you have to play very actively here. So here Avian replied E6. So the common system of this Indian defense. Bishop F4. So Atharva is trying to control this diagonal here. Then D5. Immediately Avian is controlling the center here and stopping this E4 pawn for the future. Atharva replied E3. Okay, everything is going fine here. So here Avian has one pawn breakthrough, but Atharva doesn't have this one, only for his knight here. So he has to do something with this knight. So Bishop B4. Avian made one pin here. And not only for that, he is trying to break the pawn structure here. He is trying to make double pawn here. Here Atharva replied Bishop D3. So Atharva is developing his second bishop on the game, the light square bishop. Then Avian started his pawn break, C5. Now Avian has one intention here to play C4 and deflect the bishop from this diagonal here. So actually Atharva should capture this pawn. That is the correct one. This is the correct one option. But here in the game, Atharva didn't capture. He forgot to capture this pawn. So you know it is rapid game. So sometime it will be happened with all of you. Here, so let's see what was happened. Atharva played A3, which is mistake move here. Now Avian finds some weakness here on the board. So he captured the knight. Atharva is forced to capture with his pawn. Now we can see that this is the weakness. This is the weak spot on the board, the C3 weak spot. So Avian has so many strategies here to attack on the weak pawn. One is queen A5, attack on this weak pawn. And after deflecting the bishop, in future the knight will be coming on E4. So here computer is telling that it is completely winning for white here. Sorry, completely winning for black here, according to the theory. So here Avian should play queen a5 here. Actually it is the best move here, but he was thinking that first of all he should deflect the bishop from this diagonal. For that reason Avian played c4, which is okay, but not that much strong move in this position. So here after this one Atharva played bishop e2. Now you know Atharva doesn't have any move in this diagonal, so he played bishop e2. Now maybe most of you will think that it is correct move because it is very bad move to go in the main place. Actually this is not the good move here. The better option was to play bishop f1. Why bishop f1? Then this square should be empty for this knight, and this knight can save this pawn when some attack will be coming on this pawn. At least Atharva can defend himself while playing this move. So bishop e2 is not that much good move here. So Avian can play now queen f5, but he forgot to play that. Avian played nc6. He was thinking that I should develop my pieces slowly, and it is not going from my hand. In future, anytime I can attack with knight and the queen here. But it is not that much strong move. Here, still Atharva has this chance to play bishop f3, stop this knight to come here, and ne2 to support this c3 pawn. That is the best way to defend this position, and it is almost equal in this position. Here Atharva, actually I think he was not taking care of this pawn here. He was thinking that there's nothing is that much danger here. So Atharva played nf3, which is good looking move, but bad move here. Why bad move? Now if Avian comes here, now queen a5 and e4, then Atharva cannot save this pawn. Again Avian forgot to play. He played bishop d7. So Avian was thinking that I should develop my bishop, and in future this bishop will be coming here for attacking on these weak pawns. So there are, you can see that these two pawns are backward pawn. So it is the nice attacking point for Avian here. So here rook b1, which is not good move from Atharva's side here. Actually, the correct move was nd2. At least he should stop this knight to come here. Now, but Atharva played here. Sorry, Atharva played here rook b1. Now this time again Avian has very nice chance to play this one to attack on the weak spot here. Avian played this one, which is mistake move actually in this position. So Avian lost his winning opportunity. Now by playing this move, actually the rook was attacking on this pawn. So Avian was thinking that I should protect the pawn by pushing this one. But he forgot that he is closing this diagonal for the queen attack. It is very simple. Actually, it is rapid game. That's why you cannot observe that much every time. So if it is classical game, then I think both of them will be able to play some good moves, the correct moves in their game. So after b6 and e5 was played, still Atharva is not taking care about his pawn. Now this time Avian found the attack here. So Avian realized that I have developed all of my pieces. This is the time to go for attack here. So Avian played ne4. Now this pawn is under attack here. So Atharva has no chance to save this pawn. There is no way to protect the pawn. This is blunder move. Even nothing is, this is protected by the pawn here. So no way to save this pawn. Even rook cannot come here because of the pawn here. So Atharva played here short castle. Short castle is another mistake move because the knight is coming here. It is going to create very nice fork here. So Avian didn't miss this opportunity. He played and takes c3. Now 1 point is gained by Avian. Queen d2. Now knight takes b1, rook. So 3 point is capturing 5 point. So rook takes knight here. So totally here Avian got 3 points extra, which is enough for winning. So now the computer advantage is minus 4.9 for Avian here from black side actually. Now you know Avian has material advantage here and Atharva has exchange down. So that is the best time to exchange the pieces equally here because Avian has more material. So in the end game he can win the match easily here. So Avian captured the knight, which is correct decision here. So bishop takes knight back and then Avian made short castle, which is strong move here. Then Atharva started to push his pawns here, c3. So Atharva was realizing that he should open up this rank maybe, or he should connect the pawns for that reason. So after c3, Avian played f6 to attack on the bishop. So from the e5 square, he realized that this is disturbing him. Bishop d6. Now bishop is coming to attack on this rook here. So bishop can go back anytime in this diagonal back. So here rook f7 played by Avian. Rook f7 is okay, but rook e8 is also fine to attack on this file for the future. Okay, rook f7 we cannot say it is a mistake move here. Then queen c2. Queen c2 is not that much strong move. Maybe Atharva was trying to control this square because anytime this bishop can come here and this is the outpost square, you know. So here Atharva was thinking maybe this bishop will be coming here and this is the outpost square. So this bishop will sit here properly and it will disturb him. For that reason, Atharva played this one. Now Avian played one nice move here. He applied discover attack here. You know, in this position, Avian has material advantage. So this is the best time to exchange the pieces. So Avian played bishop a4, discover attack. Why? The queen is attacking on the bishop and his bishop is attacking on the queen. Now Atharva cannot save the bishop because his queen is hanging. So for that reason, Atharva has to capture the bishop. So usually he captured this one and queen takes d6 here. So still Avian has huge advantage here for winning the match here. Now bishop f3. So Atharva is trying to set up his bishop on this diagonal. So most probably he will try to break the center here. Avian played queen d7. So again he is trying to extend the queen here. Then he wants to convert this game into the end game, which will be very easy for him to win the match. So Atharva is denying his exchange offer here. So Atharva is going back, queen c2. Atharva is telling that my queen is my hope here, so I should not extend my queen here. That is fine. That is very nice here. So e5. Now Avian has started to break the center here. Avian realized that I have to do something in this file here. If I don't open up this game, then my two rooks will be not working properly in the game. For that reason, he played e5, pawn to e5. Now Atharva played e4. Atharva is not capturing this one. He is thinking that I should break the pawn center here. Why? Only for his bishop. If this diagonal is getting open, then he can create some pressure on this diagonal. So it is his idea, not bad. So Abhiyan played e takes d4, which is okay. It is okay. E takes d4. Then c takes d4. Now we can see for the end game, Abhiyan got one pass pawn. So in future he can connect his pawns by playing b5, a3, and in the end game, this pass pawn will help him a lot here for promoting the queen here. So that is future advantage actually. So rook e8. Immediately Abhiyan is trying to control the file here. So what is Abhiyan's idea? Actually he could have take the pawn, but it is not that much strong actually. So Abhiyan was thinking that okay, let me sacrifice this pawn. This material is not that much issue for me. I have to play my rook here. If you capture my pawn, then I will get this open file for my rooks. So Atharva captured this pawn. Why? Because he got this pawn free of cost. And now Atharva is planning to capture this one. So here, actually one of the good move for Abhiyan is this one, to connect the pawn structure and then doubling, go for doubling, rook double. It is very nice strategy. So here Abhiyan played rook f e7. He is doubling the rook for the checkmate. Yeah, which is a good strategy here. Now Atharva played king f1. Why king f1? He wants to support this square. He wants to support this square, otherwise it will be checkmate. Let me show you some traps here. Suppose he is not playing king f1. Just imagine that Atharva is capturing this pawn free of cost because it is hanging here. So here Abhiyan played rook e1 check, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, check. Now how can he save the checkmate? There is only one option, this one. He has to give the queen. Then game is over after that. After losing the queen, nothing is special for white here. So for that reason, Atharva didn't capture this pawn free of cost. He realized that there is checkmate pattern in the back rank. So for that reason, he played king f1. So here Abhiyan should play b5. That is the best move actually. After playing b5, he can consolidate his position, and then slowly, by the help of this double rook, he can destroy his opponent. But Abhiyan was a little bit rushing, I think, here. So he played queen d6. So Abhiyan is saying that Atharva, you can take my pawn free of cost, but I will take this pawn. Okay, it is counter attack. So Atharva took this pawn, which is not bad. It is correct. Abhiyan played king h1. King h8. So actually, according to the computer, it is not that much strong move. In this position, it is not required to play king h8. I understood what is his plan. Actually, Abhiyan was planning to capture this pawn. It was his plan. Why? Because if he captured this pawn now in this position, then it is not that much a good idea. Because of d6, the discover attack, and the rook is hanging here, so which is then rook e6 has to be played here, so it is not good idea for him. Then bishop d5 will be coming in future, but still it is advantage for black, but it is very tough to win the match here from here. So for that reason, I think Abhiyan was going for more safety here by playing king h8 here. Okay, so Abhiyan played king h8 and then queen c6 plus, sorry, queen c6 here. Why queen c6? Because these are the double pawns here, which is not strong in the center here. So Atharva was thinking that if my opponent captured this one, then I have connected pawn here. Suppose if Abhiyan capture, so Atharva will be capturing. And now actually in this position, white has advantage. Why? Because there is no double pawn. And now Atharva can create connected pawn, and there are two pass pawn for winning the match here. So for that reason, Atharva was challenging his queen. But Abhiyan realized that he should not capture this queen. If he captured the queen, then the game is over for him. He cannot win the game at all. So Abhiyan played his best move. What is the best move? He played queen takes h2. Which is very good move here actually. The next move is checkmate pattern. Why? Because this file is completely closed by these rooks. And here Atharva is forced to play g3. Why g3? To stop this checkmate. You can see here. Now Abhiyan played queen h3, which is also very nice move. After queen h3, this is very bad move. If it goes here, if the king goes here, then it is checkmate. Check, rook takes rook, and then again check, and it is mate. So for that reason, here after the check, Atharva has to play bishop g2. There is no other good move. So here queen f5, again fast recommendation played by Avian. Why queen f5? Avian wants to attack on the rook here. And there are some other reasons I will explain later. So here rook is coming to d1. Now you can pause the video. Avian has very nice move. Try to figure out this move. It is very nice move. If you are thinking about this move, then you are right. This is the best move in this game actually. So Avian played queen d3. What a nice move. Avian is sacrificing his queen here. Why? If rook takes queen, then the game is over. It is checkmate. Rook e1 and game is over. So here Atharva realized that he cannot capture the queen here. So what can he do? His rook is hanging, his king is having check. Atharva has only one move to play here. King g1. Now queen takes g1. Avian got the queen free. Avian got the rook free of cost here. Then king h2, queen h5 check, bishop h3, rook e1, which is not bad. Some checkmate patterns are there. Now d6. Why d6? Atharva wants to promote the pawn here. So it can create some problem for Avian. But here Avian played very actively here. Here Avian played queen e2. Why queen e2? To capture this pawn for the checkmate pattern in future. So just imagine that here Atharva is playing this one. Then it is not a good move for Atharva here because of some defensive ideas here. Suppose rook g8 he can play, then bishop g2 has to come back. Like that way he can stop his attack. So still it is winning, but not the best variation actually here. So here after this move, after queen d7 here, Atharva played bishop g2 for some defensive purpose here. Now rook d8. You can see here rook d8. Why rook d8? To stop this pawn pushing for the future here. So Avian is at the same time he's attacking and going to defend his position here. So it is correct way. So queen c7. Atharva is attacking on the rook, and for the promotion purpose here, Avian rook goes back again here. Now in this position, queen d7. Queen d7 is played by Atharva. Now here Atharva can play pawn d7 for the promotion. Maybe most of you are thinking why he is not pushing the pawn, and then next move is promotion. So if Atharva push the pawn for the promotion, next move is confirmed promotion. Here it is very dangerous threat created by Avian. It is 100% checkmate. We can see the combination here. See the combination properly, everybody. Queen h5 check. Then bishop h3 is the only one move. Then black has very nice move. Rook h1 check. The sacrificing the rook. If king takes the rook, then game is over. In to checkmate in two moves, check, forced to go here, and then it is mate. So for that reason, king cannot take the rook. So king has to come here. Now no need to take the bishop. Here queen d5 is the check. After queen d5 check, pawn f3 is force move, and then check. King takes h1 is the force move. Check, then king g1, check, king h1, and it is mate. So that is the whole combination here. So for that reason, maybe Atharva also realized. So after doing this one, Atharva didn't push his pawn. So Atharva was playing this one to defend his side here properly. Now Avian is coming for the exchange here. So Avian realized that this is the best time to exchange the pieces, and let me simplify the position. Avian is going for simplification here. Atharva took the queen, which is not that much strong. So taking this one. After that, this is hopeless position. Nothing is special here. You can see. So Atharva was having time pressure here. So he is not getting any ideas within few seconds. So Atharva made some blunders here, and then Avian took this one, and then easily Avian won the match here. So here this is the continuation of the game. Now at last moment it is a double rook checkmate. The game is over here. So I hope everybody you have enjoyed the game and you have learned something good lesson from this game. Thank you so much for watching this game.